Well, hello folks. Welcome to Fransylvania. I'm Fran. I'm in the maple business. And we are on the road today. We are headed down the New York Thruway to Syracuse. I'm going to a maple trade show. It's called the Winter Maple Classic. And I'm going to go look at some new equipment and see what else is out there. Look at some new technology. See how, when, and if it'll fit in with my operation. I'm going to take some classes at some of the seminars that they got. So I'll be with you in a bit. We'll be there in about, I don't know, what's that say, hour and a half. So we'll go there and we'll look around and spend the night, and I'll have more for you in a little bit. Here is gate 2. Well, here's our dinner. Nice, healthy, Atkins friendly pizza. We'll make it work. I think he needs a little help in the sound category.
So these will be on the Michigan State University Forestry Innovation Center website and YouTube channel.
Tap about 100,000 maple trees here. Produce around 45 to 50,000 gallons of maple syrup a year. This is an R7 steam-powered evaporator. It produces around 500 gallons of finished maple syrup an hour. The R7 is powered with steam. There's fuel oil that produces the steam in the other room.
Off to the hotel for the night. Well, here we are the next day. They got us breakfast here. Look at all these donuts that are so healthy for you. Not really keto friendly, is it? I'm gonna have to steer clear of them. This looks a little healthier over here, I'd say. Kind of sparse looking. I guess I sort of expected a little bit more here. Look around here, see what we got. Here's one of these new style filter presses that you can see right through. I never really saw the need to have one of these because I know how my filter press acts when it starts to get full. So be able to see inside of it, I just never really saw the need to do that. Because when you're using your filter press during the season and the pressure starts to go up, you know you're getting full, so you really don't need to look inside of it. And here we go here. Smoke station. Looks like a monitoring system. Tank monitor or a sugar bush monitor. There's a little hobby evaporator. Couple pans. I don't think that's how it is normally. We've got a couple finishing pans on there. And this one over here is going to like it. You got your finishing pan here and you got a little glue pan there. Mine's like this, but only many times larger. same old tubing. This is the tubing that I've been using for my drops, but it tends to get mildewy for some reason. I put it on and after a couple of years it gets mildewy. So I switched over to this. A little harder, but it doesn't get mildew in it.
You know, so you end up getting a big wave. As long as you chip off and keep this part clean, this makes no difference because it's tip sensitive. Yeah, well, you know, that's why I say you take one, and when you pull it out, you wipe it off. You know, so you wipe that slime off. But that'll cause speed of response on that.
I'll get that for you.
Yep, not a problem.
Are you from Markland?
I am Markland, yeah.
Okay.
You can't get a hold of people.
Now, does Markland make a variable draw-off system?
Yes. We've always built on-off, modulating or proportioning and barometrically controlled units. And the thing is, barometrically controlled isn't really required. Modulating unit is not required. And the reason for that is the process is a large mass, very slow moving. So anybody that's a control professional will say the application of the control is on-off. Large mass, slow moving. You don't want a controller that's hyper.
Yeah.
You know, and modulating or proportioning units are designed for processes that are constantly being upset because you have 4 different parameters that are going to look for upsets: the proportional band, the integral, the derivative, reset wind up.
Yeah.
You know, so each of those do different things.
It's a classic PID system.
It's a classic PID approach. So on-off control is your easiest way to handle a lethargic, slow-moving process.
Yeah.
So the application in our industry in the proportioning units is incorrect. You know, so if you're talking about application, wrong application. Do they function? Yes, they'll function. But why are you going to pay X amount of dollars more when the result is plus or minus a half a degree? So I always liken it to, you want to go to Walmart, you want to pick up stuff. Well, I can drive my Rolls Royce to Walmart, or I can drive my Ford Escape.
Well, in my case, I don't know if it's because the level of my evaporator or whatever, but I can't stick to plus or minus half a degree. If
That's the ultimate.
If I'm running my evaporator and it starts to draw off,
Yep.
a lot of times it'll go up more than that before it comes back down.
Yeah.
And I end up making a little bit of heavy syrup.
Right. In order to do proper application on a draw on an evaporator is minimum draw, maximum amount of times. So you've got a valve at your draw off port. You start off, that's full open to bring you to the process condition. And you've got an up, down, plus or minus 2 or 3 degrees. You start throttling that back and forcing the valve to open and close, to open and close. More often, minimum flow, maximum amount of times, you squish down.
So you think that's better than a PID system?
Definitely. Because what happens with a proportional or PID system is the instrument is going to be looking for upsets. So every so often, why you have, you know, like a reset, you know, finding what the actual set point is with reset, it'll start hunting, you know, the parameters. So you get a little bit of a bump. Then it will come back and say, oh, gee, there's really nothing wrong, it's okay. Take, for instance, these lights. These lights are not sitting there at that particular brightness. They're actually flickering at 60 times a second. So it's still an on-off, but it seems to be, you know, a lot. So in other words, if you force the valve to open and close as often as you can, probably 40, 50 times.
That takes the place of your PID.
That actually takes the place of the PID in the system that we're talking about, and gets you doing simply the instrument as an on-off. It just does what you want to do. You change the setting in temperature, it changes the setting in temperature. It doesn't sort of reevaluate its 3 modes, you know. Now, I just say you can accomplish the same results. It's not a problem.
Okay.
You're a customer, I'll give you the spiel.
So
You want a proportional,
So these-
I'll sell you a proportional.
these fancy systems that are made by CDL and
Yeah.
Leader and others, you're not completely sold on them because in a strict control
In our
sense,
application.
in a strict control sense, we can basically replicate the same thing in a simpler way by using more frequent on-off switches.
Well, that's exactly it. Modulating really is giving you the valve at that. It's modulating that valve. That's
Okay.
what it's doing. You know, so I can fake the modulation in the on-off mode by minimum flow, maximum of times having an output. And the only reason for it is the process. The process demands what type of control you're using. Super duper erratic process needs the most amount of surveillance.
Okay.
You know, so a PID controller has 3 people monitoring that process. But I don't need 3 people monitoring this super lethargic process. And I basically say the business that we are in, people can't sort of throw money away. So you're talking $800 or $1,500 to accomplish the same, you know, stuff.
Now, how is this unit different than the one that I already have, which is over 10 years old?
No different.
I didn't think so.
No, there is no difference.
Yeah.
The only difference that is maybe the size of the controller.
Yeah. The controller is different. I see that.
Well, just in size.
Yeah.
You know, as far as function is the same. And the
Okay.
reason for that is, you know, I'm manufacturing, you know, 3 different models. Well, you get smart and you say, well, I'll take those 3 different models and I'll combine it into the volume of a controller. So I
Grading system. Grading system.
Oh, okay. There is. Yeah, there's no one.
Hopefully we get busy here today, hopefully.
Yeah, kind of a light crowd.
Well, hopefully it's going to pick up here, I'm hoping. I got 2 going on, so
I know.
they're a little
I know.
challenge, but I think we can do them both. It was always tight down there. If you've probably been there before.
Now, do you sell the other low whack?
Yeah, I think I got 3 sizes. I just
I mean, do you sell the other low whack tools too?
Yes,
You have
yeah.
a whole line of tools.
yeah, they're right in here.
Or Loke or low whack, however you say
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you're right.
Which is it? Loke or low whack?
Loac, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole. Won't ask me why.
Yeah.
I don't see you out there nothing.
That's true.
Is this what you use to take the old connector off with?
Old tees and stuff, yeah. It's like a 3 or 4 week.
Some of B&G's tubing. What? No, that's DSD stars. This looks like nice stuff
Got these
too.
on hand, Leroy?
I got this one on hand right now.
Should give that a try. Green tubing. Why would someone use green tubing? Well, if you're renting a woods and the owner of that land doesn't want to see your tubing stick out like a sore thumb during the summertime, and he wants to enjoy his land, then you would use something like that that blends in a little bit better. Green or gray or something that they can't see. I can understand a landowner not wanting to look at blue tubing year round. buckets for small producers. How we doing?
Hi, good morning. Good.
You're not the same guy that was here yesterday, were you? You were. Okay. Well, I got the camera running now,
Okay.
so I won't show your face though.
All right. Lauren's getting ready to give that presentation.
Yes, she is. I was going to go over and listen to it.
Great.
Organic maple production. Should I do it or not? Lots of things to consider here. Here's my competition again. They do a really good job.
Want to taste anything?
You know, that maple fudge looks really good,
It is really good.
but it's not keto friendly.
Oh, because it has milk in it?
No, because it's sugar.
Oh. Can't have sugar. I guess I didn't realize that.
Well, I'm just trying to shed a few pounds on the new year here.
The whole world is on that schedule.
Yeah, I usually do pretty well. I like these better. Now, do you make these tools?
I make all of them, yep.
Cool. I've tried a lot of different types of tools like this, and every single one I try that has the vice grip design, they all slip on cold tubing.
You get iced up tubing and
You
it's-
can't avoid it. You're
there's no
hustling.
good cure.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go over everything that there is to go over. I'll be here for maybe an hour after the presentation, and if you have questions once a week to enforce their regulations. But they don't actually do any of the certification. They just accredit us too. There is actually about 80 certification agencies like in the state that are accredited by the USDA.
Morning. Okay. I take it you build your own units?
Yep.
Where are you located?
Parish, New York.
Where's that?
30 miles up, Parish.
Do you build the electric releasers with the submersible pumps in them that kind of thing?
Yeah, right there. This one right here. It's got a submersible in it right here. This is like a low profile one.
Okay.
And your on and off switches on them, high low.
Now, what kind of distance can I pump with this? What kind of head can I pump against? If this is under full vacuum, have you ever tried that or experimented with it?
Yeah, I got one guy, he's pumping 75 feet. Not straight up a hill, but it's up a pretty good incline.
You can't do much more than that, or
Probably not against the vacuum.
okay.
I mean, you might be able to, but what happened, when it gets to that colder temperatures, I think you're gonna run into a little bit of problems.
How many taps is this good for?
This one will do 1,200. That one will do 6,000. That one's gonna do 3,500.
And what kind of power does this use?
110.
What kind of amps?
This pump draws like 9.
Okay. All right.
This one's got a 220.
Are your units, how do your prices compare with like somebody from CDL or wherever, H2O or, you think so? Well, you build them yourself though?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a catalog?
No, we used to, but we didn't have one this year because of the prices. Everything is getting so expensive.
Okay.
So we didn't make one. Hopefully they'll go back down. The pipe and everything's
So this is how many taps here?
about 1,200.
How big would one be for like 2,200?
22?
Yeah.
Probably about this size.
Would you make a that style one? Well, I don't know. I like the uprights better, I think.
Yeah, that's more if you want. You got, your lines are lower to the ground. But yeah, we can make them any size you want. You just have to make a bigger chamber, you know.
Okay. Well, you know what I did is how many taps is that? This guy designed his own releasers. They look like a real good product. I'm glad I stopped and talked to him. This one fills up two sides. This side's going to fill up, the dump, and that side's going to start to fill. That side fills, little dump. Anyways, you get the idea. Got some small RO machines here.
We'll gain some back capacity. My theory on all this stuff is don't make it overcomplicated to get you started. Figure out what you want to do. Get your feet wet, and then move into it. Because a lot of this stuff is modular too. You can kind of adapt to it.
Now here's their Maple Experience tour. Just the trailer set up. Get some stuff in it. People still use these plastic buckets. Yeah. See, that's what taps do to the wood. Here's where a tap was. It kills a little section of the wood. Up here that would be gone, but we got a little vacuum pump. We got some sap lines. We have a sap monitor there. Actually, that looks like a, what is that? Oh, that's a vacuum sensor. Yeah. Got a little releaser, just like the one we saw over there. Here's your evaporator. Product is down here. Here's all my competitors.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Little bitty tour, give you a general idea. Here's a storage tank above your evaporator. Glue pan, finishing pan. Yeah.
So as I kind of alluded to, we have two sides to our agency. We have a farm program side and a farm loan program side. So first I'm going to go through our loans. So we like to call ourselves America's lender of first opportunity. So our farm loans are designed to help farmers start, purchase, or expand their farming operation.
Well, here we are at lunchtime. This looks a whole lot better than what breakfast was.
System of higher education, was Dean of the College of Science at Edinburgh University, south of Erie. My training is in plant taxonomy, plant classification. My family has made syrup in western New York.
Well, there we have it, folks. I'm just leaving Syracuse. Just got back on the New York Thruway. That's it for the Winter Maple Classic at the New York State Fairgrounds. I guess my biggest takeaway is my glasses look kind of goofy, don't they? Oh well, they're cheap clip-ons, what can I tell you? Anyways, my biggest takeaway is I'm really interested in those releasers that guy builds. I got his card with me. I forgot his name. I'm interested in getting some electric releasers for my sugar bush with the submersible pumps, so that I can improve the vacuum and also improve the reliability of my releasers, because the mechanical ones that I have now tend to stick once in a while, and I'll go back there and I'll see a releaser that's stuck and I got tripped, and I have to untrip it, and you know, a lot of times they stick like that during the night, and I don't know how much sap I lost. So I wanted to make my system more dependable by going to electric releasers. My dilemma was that the electric releasers that I priced through the major maple equipment manufacturers are pretty expensive. Well, this guy here is located right in upstate New York here, and he builds his own releasers, and he builds electric releasers too, and they're about half the price of what I would buy if it came from CDL or one of the other vendors, Dominion and Grimm or H2O or any of them, and they look really good. I like them, and I spent a lot of my lifetime in machine design and component selection, and I know something good when I see it. Maybe they're a little bit on the cheaply built side, but they'll work for me. And so I'm definitely gonna chase down that lead. We're gonna do something with that. Other than that, I learned a lot about the pests. Some additional, I already knew a lot about it, but I learned more about the pests that can affect the sugar bush, mainly because this day and age we have more invasive species coming into the picture. We've got the Asian longhorn beetle, we've got other pests that don't affect maple trees too much, like the emerald ash borer. Everybody knows about that, but this was a little bit more of an in-depth exposure to those pests. Other invasive species, like invasive plants and weeds and things that can affect the health of a sugar bush. It's all very interesting. And also, I went to the one seminar I went to was about organic certification. Now, I don't know if I'm really interested in being certified organic yet or not, but I really wanted to learn more about it so that I know what I'm getting into. It's not as hard as I thought it was, but help me with my decision-making process as to if I really want to do it now or not, or just wait a little while. There's some restrictions. I guess my biggest difficulty with being certified organic, if I can hold this camera still, is if something happens to my sugar bush, if I get an outbreak of some pest, I got a lot invested in my sugar bush, and I need to take care of my trees. I got a lot invested, and I don't know if I'm really willing to sacrifice the health of my sugar bush on the altar of being organic, if that makes any sense. So, had some good takeaways, learned a lot of stuff. I was wishing that there would have been more vendors there than what I saw. I was wishing that I wish that there was more to look at. I was expecting, quite frankly, I was expecting a much bigger show. So, it's the first year that they had it in Syracuse. In past years, it's been someplace else. And there's been some disagreement about where to have it, and there's a little bit of a mess going on there. I won't explain it. A little bit of politics, but oh well. Hopefully they can iron out their differences for next year, and they can all gather in one place and have a really nice maple show. Other than that, I'm just headed back to Happy Valley. I got to make sure Mom's doing okay, and I'll have more maple material coming. We're coming up to another maple season. I've got more projects. I've got tapping season coming. I'm going to be making more syrup here in a little bit, so Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Share and tell others about it. It is a educational channel as well as an experiential channel, just like all of the other ag channels that are out there. So thanks for hanging with me. Have a good day.